Welcome there, lovely souls. Hope you're doing well. So I wanted to do a video about what exactly I do and how I work in clinic. I call it clinic, but it sounds so very clinical, doesn't it? And that probably served me back when I started in sports massage, and but it isn't now. And I'm really getting the vibe that I need to change, I need to move, and really be quite clear as to what I'm doing. Not keeping one foot in the other, just that because that's what people know and recognise in the words of sports massage, and actually explain to what exactly I do and how I work. So, from a technical aspect, I'm working the myofascia, the fascia of the body, which connects everything together. It's called the connective tissue because it connects everything. And it comes from our skin to our nervous system. And as I have developed and grown into intuitive healing, into the Reiki, into energy healing with what I do, you connect across everything. So from the fascia, which keeps us in this physical body that we see, that we feel, it also connects into the emotional body, into the mental body, into our soul and into our spirit. And everything is held within our bodies. And what I'm here and what I'm working and what I'm doing and what I feel I'm here for is actually to enable people to connect to their bodies. Because when we have trauma, so childhood trauma, which I've experienced, we jump out of our body. We separate from ourselves. Because that's our coping mechanism. Because the amount of emotion and the trauma that is there, we have to disconnect from it to survive. Now, wild animals will go out and shake that off. They're being chased by the lion, they don't get caught, they do this sort of kind of whole neural shake, and they step up and move back, and they come back into the present. But domesticated animals and humans, we don't do this. We suck that in, that trauma, and we hold on to it until we actually realize it's there and heal it. However, we don't always know it's there. It's so well hidden from us, deep into our subconscious, into our autonomic nervous system. It's holding into our cells within our body. It's been stored and kept away from our brain so we can function. But after a while, and I can't exactly explain to you why it happens, yet there comes a point when we have to work through this and heal through this, and it comes to a point where the body goes no more. And how that comes through in symptoms is fatigue, overwhelm, and perimenopause is like an activator of this. It's when women are actually moving into their power. It's this transition from the maiden, the mother, and into the wise one. Now, you can't be wise, and if we're carrying all BS systems that hold us in fear, that blocks our pineal gland, that connects not only endocrine for our whole of our body and our hormones, which ultimately this is hormones we're talking about, the whole chemical communications through our body, it also holds light. It connects us to consciousness, to the field of consciousness. For this is what women and their power is actually, when they move through that transition, they start to have more awakening, more connection, more psychic, or just I knew that was going to happen. And their spiritual abilities, their psychic abilities increase. And this is what communities would have needed. They would have needed that connection to, whether we want to call it God, divine, consciousness, but connecting deeper into our bodies. And this is the work that I do, You can't have all this spirituality or this high connection if you're not in your body. We are vessels to allow this energy to come through. And we will be experiencing this as physical pain. We see that, a lot of the time people come with me with a right shoulder issue, which actually turns out to be a lot to do about the liver. Now, the liver has sympathetic nerves that runs up through the shoulder, which causes what we call frozen shoulder, or the pain and the discomfort. Yet actually it's the liver that needs the work, not so much the shoulder. And the liver, we all know, is the detoxer, the release, the cleanser. It also does, it's about 500 plus functionality, which is key to our metabolic function, which a lot to do is what menopause is about. But it also holds anger. And if it's too much anger, it overflows into the gallbladder, and that is bitterness. And the work that I do, because a lot of women go, well, I'm not angry. I might get a bit stroppy or a bit frustrated here and there, but I don't relate to being angry. I don't want to be angry. And anger, unless you're male, it seems to be isn't an acceptable emotion for women. It's not acceptable if it's acted out towards anybody, because that's fear. However, when you connect into anger in a conscious way, you can alchemize it. Because underneath that anger is grief, loss of what you didn't have or what you did have. It's also deeper underneath that is a part of you saying, I'm worthy of more. I deserve better. And if you allow that anger to alchemize, you're allowing that part of you that's saying, I deserve love, I deserve respect, I deserve to be here on this planet, I deserve abundance, I deserve joy, I deserve love and respect, and I deserve peace. This is your body saying to you, you need to let go of some shite to be able to step up into your joy, to your love, your peace, your purpose, whatever it is. And you may relate to that anger from your own experiences. If you've experienced childhood trauma, sex abuse, narcissist relationships, they will all sit in there. Okay, and it will sit in the liver, which you absorbed, and a lot of the time the liver is also the sponge. So if you've been in a negative environment, an angry environment, your liver would absorb that to be the peacekeeper. So you may well have patterns that you sacrifice your inner peace to keep the peace. So you lose your healthy boundaries. You overgive, you martyr yourself, you give away. Yet you're not asking back, you're not allowing yourself to receive because you feel you're not worthy. So anger helps you transmute, to alchemize all this old pain, these belief systems, these patterns that's so deeply ingrained in your nervous system because it would have come right into your subconscious as you as a child. This is what I do. I help people transform and alchemize that, to find that deeper inner peace, that inner love for themselves. But equally, if you don't relate to that anger, you, and through the mother and the feminine lineage, we have these, what we call epigenetics. We carry through us what has gone on through all our ancestors, right to whenever we began. We can't prove that because we've lived too long to be able to prove that. However, we have seen that in animals, and we've seen it in the Holocaust, and how this actually trauma can get through the epigenetics, the encoding. Normally it should be cleared, but it doesn't. Trauma can get through. And I have found with the betrayal that sits with the abuse of the feminine. So I work with the feminine and the masculine to bring a balance between the two, because ultimately one without the other cannot exist. And it's healing those masculine wounds, it's healing the feminine wounds, but ultimately it's allowing that feminine to come up in equal balance with the masculine, to allow the masculine to heal the betrayal. The abuse that has gone on in women and still does is holding in our systems, in our bodies. And we need to alchemize that. And this isn't about going out and acting out in revenge and, saying women are better. This isn't that. This often gets picked up as if like it's against men. It really isn't, because there's beautiful men out there. What we do need is those men to stand up and find their voice and stand against it too. And this is about unity and the feminine, the masculine, the male and female coming back as one. So even though I'm talking about the feminine line, I work a lot with women because a lot of women are carrying these wounds. For I see it as actually the female starts this healing journey. Okay, they forgive big, but you can't forgive unless you process that anger first. And it's like our digestion, our organs emotionally have to do that whole process to be able to finally let go and get to forgiveness, which is the bowel, the letting go. But you've got to find out if it's yours first in the stomach. That's discernment. The liver is about alchemizing and bringing that anger to burn that out away, the use of fire and wood to clear the debris. Your pancreas is about the joy and grief that sit within each other. And then the small intestine is about discernment, what you take from it, what you do not, what is yours and what is not, what is pure, what is not, what serves your joy, what does not. And then the final act is release, that letting go, that forgiveness. But you can't get to forgiveness until you've done all of that. And as much as we want to be peace, to be at peace, you've got to find the rage. You've got to feel that rage and that anger to allow and do that consciously, which is exceptionally healing. So this is what I do. I do this with my hands-on work. I do it within my sessions, my Ignite Your Inner Pussy Power. That's for women, obviously. It happens through the Love to Heal course. But yeah, that's what I do. That is the essence of my work. And you can't really label that one. Like I say, I use certain techniques, but a lot of this is all intuitive. And but it's always using the body. Always. This isn't about avoidance. This isn't about going off into this wonderful world where everything is beautiful and nice and then you have to come back to the real world. This is about bringing that heaven on earth. That is about bringing that peace on earth, that love, that joy. It's about actually you being that, and there's no differentiation. There's no separation. It's the fear and the separation that is the illusion, but it's so ingrained in our system that it feels like our truth, because we have a thought, we have an emotional reaction, that emotional reaction comes back up to the brain, so therefore we're like, oh, well, this is my truth. It's not. It's bollocks. It's bullshit. It's BS. Belief systems, okay? We have to break that pattern. I'm the pattern breaker. You're the pattern breaker. I give you the tools to do that. And as soon as you have those aha moments of, oh wow, no, this isn't my truth. This is old belief systems that makes me think I'm not worthy, that I need to keep quiet, that I can't have healthy boundaries. It's all comes to the forefront. And when you become aware of it, that's your superpower. Because in that awareness, you can make those conscious choices to change at that very moment. As you're feeling that self-sabotage, that self-hate, that negative voice, you can go, no, I choose love. I choose joy. I choose peace. I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of joy. I'm worthy of peace. I am love. I am joy. I am peace. And you say those words, you don't know how you're going to get there, but you're saying to yourself, you're saying on a high vibrational level, this is what I'm choosing. I don't want anything else but this. So I'm breaking this pattern. And then when you do, those neuroplasticity in your brain starts forming with that new pathway of process. You continue to do that on a regular basis. You are creating different neural pathways. It's like the train track. You make that slight lever. It doesn't look like much difference at one point, those parallel lines, that love and fear like running alongside each other. You make that slight move. First order doesn't look big, but over time they have just polarized. And that's your power. And that's how I support you to do that. So if this is where you're at right now, let me know. Okay, so lots of love. And if you have more questions, which I'm sure you will, as to what on earth I'm up to, let me know. I'd love to hear it. Put all these comments into this down on this video. So take care, and we have got a lot to do, a lot of healing. But when you're conscious of it, it's so much nicer. It's so much more graceful. It's not pleasant, but you can move it through really quickly. That's the power. All right. So love you. Take care. Speak to you soon.